Hello again, everyone. This is Gilmer, and this is episode 3 of my Let's Play Rise of Prussia Gold. I'm playing the first Silesian War scenario, and right now, if we take a look at oops, the objectives and victory points screen, as you can see, we've taken Glogau, but it is uncontrolled by me because I don't have a garrison there. I am sending a garrison down there quickly to get control of that. That's what this icon means when it's red. And I guess I can't really tell what the icon is in that. It might be just cross swords. I'm not sure. Somebody mentioned that over here is Saxony, which I think I did eventually tell, or acknowledge that that was Saxony, because it even says military control Saxony and then Prussia in parentheses, which is kind of strange, and I don't know all the history of the wars that happened in this area leading up to the 7 Years' War, but Saxony was on Austria's side in the 7 Years' War because there is, and I think it actually is, no, not in Breslau. It's over here, I think. Yeah. Perna, at the start of the 7 Years' War, is a fortified camp. And the armies of Prussia come down, and basically, historically, Saxony's troops in the Perna fortified camp surrendered to Prussia, and that knocked Saxony out of the war. And I think they actually even supplied some troops to Prussia, but they were pretty much out of the war at that point. So what's gone on in this scenario so far? Well, we've captured Breslau and we captured Glogau, and like I mentioned, Glogau is not under control because, as you can see, the only military units that I have in there are fort batteries, and those will not get you the control of that city. And if you just have fort batteries, it's going to say it's uncontrolled. But it's basically mine. But I am sending a unit down. It is militia, but it's supposed to be a garrison. If that doesn't work, then I'm going to have to detach a unit of regular infantry for it to be properly garrisoned. So we'll see about that. So in our last episode, I told you about what my strategy is. As you can see, it's early April, but there is winter still going on. And as you can see, some of these places show that the mountain areas can be troublesome. It says, be warned that winter is here and the mountain can be blocked at any time. And it usually actually happens. I don't know why it says that. It usually actually says this region is impassable. But that is something we need to worry about. Because if I plot my movements this turn and this stuff is not gone by next turn and I've plotted into these areas, it could potentially become an issue. But having said all that, we are going to, let's see. Man, I really don't want to lose a really good unit as a garrison duty force. I really don't want to have to do that. Something I did it off screen, but we were talking about that. If you go to this tab, no, that's not it. It's this tab. Kurt von Schwerin is going to be promoted, And I said there are other generals that could be promoted, and I would have to break them out of the stack to actually promote them. And I decided to do that to kind of show you what happens. And he was actually in, let's see, I believe he was in Kurt von Schwerin's stack. And so that even makes it more so that you have to break him free of that stack to promote him. But as what I mentioned, if you promote somebody before somebody else who has more seniority, promoting Ernst Ludwig von Getze will anger Dietrich von Anhalt-Dessau, who will feel that he has been passed over. You will pay a cost of 0 national morale and 2 victory points. And Dietrich von Anhalt-Dessau will lose several seniority points. And when that happens and they lose several seniority points, at some point they're not as senior as others, and the whole group of generals kind of reshuffle. But as it says, you can pass over a leader if you promote another leader who has at least 4 seniority points less than the most seniority commander of a given rank. You pass over. You can't. It's not you can pass over, but you pass over. So basically, what it says is seniority. The seniority number, the lower the number is, the more senior you are. So if you look at somebody like Friedrich II, and if you open up his little card, his seniority is, where is it? No, I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Seniority 1. The lower the number, the more senior the person is, and this politic points is basically what the modifier is for losing national morale and points. So he has a seniority of 1. He is one of the most senior. And so if we look at von Getze, let's see. His seniority is 56. I think 60 is what he started at, and his seniority has moved to 56. And it says Anhalt-Dessau. If we find Anhalt-Dessau somewhere, Heinrich, where is Anhalt-Dessau? He's von. Oh, wait a minute. This is it. This is him. So as you can see, Dietrich von Anhalt-Dessau, his seniority is 47. He started at 50. I guess 4 points is how much you have to move before you can be promoted, and he's moved 3 points. So his number, even though he's more senior, because he's at 47 and Getze is at 56, he's going to be mad that he was not promoted before Getze was promoted. There's a little bit of strategy in this, because if you get a really good general, and the very specific situation I'm thinking of is American Civil War II, when you get Grant, he is a 2-star general when he first enters the game, and if you can get him promotable at any given time, I would promote him no matter what, because even if he's not the most senior general that you have, having Grant as an army commander outweighs any kind of penalty you might get for promoting him before somebody who is more senior. And you will get those situations all the time. And my only suggestion is you weigh the situation you're in the game to end all wars. I need 3 stars. I need so many 3 stars. If I'm playing the Western Entente, I need so many 3 stars in the French armies or the French forces that I will promote anybody who is promotable to 3-star, even if it's a penalty, as long as it's not national morale. If there's a national morale component in the penalty, I might consider not doing it. But if it's no national morale and victory points, some kind of victory points, I don't care about that, because you can win by sudden death in To End All Wars by taking Berlin as the Western Entente, and that's usually what I shoot for. And plus events also you can win by crushing their national morale. And I've got a current game going on, but I'm having trouble with war supplies. I think the game has a little bug going on with it with war supplies, and so I'm not getting any war supplies each turn, and I can't buy any replacements. I can't recruit anybody without war supplies. And that's kind of a game breaking bug, so it's not really a small bug if you ask me. But I'm very late in the game, so I'm trying to decide if I want to try to go ahead and finish that game with the bug acting up as it is, or just consider it the game over. But that's neither here nor there because I'm not recording it. But anyway, so my strategy is to break off some of these units and take some of them over here and then take some of them this way. But I'm kind of afraid to go into harsh weather, so I'm thinking that I still have to figure out what kind of units he has. So I think I'm going to split him. And then I'm going to put one of these units as the garrison for Breslau. And then I'm going to add him back together, minus that one unit that I put in as garrison. So he's still, hopefully he's still on, yes, he's going to be he's going to be promoted next turn. So I want to do this. Everybody else's looks like they're moving. Let's see. Yes. Yes. So all of them are moving to Brieg. And this guy, I think I'll move him down here as well. Or is he going along anyway? It doesn't really matter. We're going to combine him up with the corps he came from after it's all over anyway. But I'm moving this unit down here so that it will kind of possibly gain control of this area so that we have, and actually I guess it does have connection. It's taking its time pulling this, but I think if I have this control of this as well, that it'll be easier for supply to get here maybe. Because this way, if it comes this way, well, if it comes this way, it has to cross the river twice. If it comes this way, it only crosses the river once. Now, I don't know if that's exactly how supply works, but it just seems to me that it's tougher for it to go this way as opposed to just going this way. So that's what I'm doing that for. And we'll get that back to where it was. And then I'm going to save the turn. And then I'm going to proceed to next turn. And these turns go really fast in this game, to be honest. It's amazing to me how fast these turns process. As you can see, we've got control of that now. So let's take a look at supply. So, as you can see, Breslau actually is pulling a lot of supply. Now let's turn that off. And let's look at current weather. So as you can see, it's not very good weather. Clear rain, clear rain, clear rain, clear rain, clear rain, and then this is all harsh weather, snow. Not very good, but what are you going to do? And so I'm going to actually bring him down as well. Let's take a look. You train one heavy cavalry replacement. You train one Prussian artillery replacement. That's all the movements. All of my corps ended up down here in Brieg. And here we go. Dietrich von Anhalt-Dessau is angered that Ernst Ludwig von Getze has been promoted to brigadier before him. You have paid a cost of 0 national morale and 2 victory points. And I felt like that was worth it, to be honest. Now we got an interesting situation. His numbers are 633. His numbers are also 633, I think. But if I split these armies up, I could take one of the armies, because I could make Kurt von Schwerin an army commander now. And then I could have 2 armies, and one army could go this way, and the other army can go like through here. I don't know if I want to do that, though. I think one of the ways you can see... Now, see, this is the range of command that Friedrich II has. So, really, it doesn't make any sense for me to make another army, because if I have corps going over here, and they'll still be separated from him, but his command abilities will still be as an umbrella over that corps. So I'm not too worried about that. But it does, I think, give him more command points. I think he increased from 28 to 32 command points. So he's going back into that. And 1670, 1108. He's 633 as well. Is everybody 633? That's pretty interesting. What is he? 633 as well. Amazing. So I'm bringing him all the way down here because I don't need him. Now let's take a look at this. It still says Glogau is uncontrolled, but as you can see, Breslau is considered controlled. So let's take a look. I actually moved a pioneer battalion down here. That's strange. Who's in this? I really need this to unlock, but I don't think it's going to happen. So let's take a look. Oh, wait a minute. Glogau. So that's very disappointing that this militia does not give me that. So now I'm going to have to split up somebody. And I really don't want to. Oh boy. He's a lesser power than those. That's a Jaeger. I think that's... No, Grenadiers. So I am going to move him up here. Have him enter the structure. And I guess I'm going to have him move here. And then I'm going to reconstitute this guy's command. And then we're ready to go. It says 9 days. And then we're going to do Siege Works. And we're going to assault. I have to assault every time. So now he's a 2-star. I'm not getting... I don't really have time to sit here and worry about these units that are under strength. I really don't. I don't have time in this scenario to worry too much about under strength units. I just gotta go. So I'm gonna process a turn. I didn't even read all the messages, did I? Or did I? Yeah, maybe I did. Oh, Maximilian Brown again. He's been in... How many did we lose? 797 men. They lost 513 men. But we destroyed actual 2 units. That usually means that we get a national morale boost from the battle. Why did this... national morale 136. We won a battle against Austria in Region Brieg Fortress. 0 national morale gained. Changes from objectives under control. And that's because we took Brieg. And as you can see, since we moved a regular infantry unit into Glogau, we now control that objective. And we just captured Brieg. We received 3 national morale for winning that battle, or from taking Brieg. So victory points, we're getting 11, they're getting 23. So, I mean, that's going to be the end of this video, but I want you to, if you don't take anything else away from this video, I want you to think on promoting generals. If I see games all the time where a gamer is doing pretty good. I mean, they're actually doing pretty good, but they're never checking to see if anybody's being congratulated for their victories. And if you don't ever check this, and I check all my messages actually, and I make sure that I look at all of them. Some of them are not that big, like I can see, I can kind of skim over this one. The Army Corps is committed against Austria on day 1. I can kind of skip over those. I can skip over, we captured 200 rifles, we captured 200 prisoners. I do look at this. We have earned 3 engagement points, and I also look at whether we gained any national morale from winning a battle. You know, so you can kind of tell which are more important messages, and red messages are the most important, actually. And red messages are usually won a battle, won a large battle, captured something, scripted events, if you have any scripted events. But some of these others you can kind of go, okay, Stat Militia has arrived in Bunzlau at day 6. That's that. And you can kind of see that. But you want to be paying attention to a lot of these messages, because there's a lot of good information in these messages. So I check this one that shows generals being congratulated every turn, unless I know I didn't win a battle or I didn't even have a battle. Then I'm not too worried about this. But we did win this battle, so I'm checking to see who was congratulated. We've got von Holstein-Beck was congratulated, and von Kalkstein was congratulated, but they're not promotable at this point. So it is important to look at this, especially if you're playing in a main campaign. If you're playing in the main campaign to End All Wars or Revolution Under Siege or this one, if you don't catch the fact that somebody's promotable, next turn they might not be promotable, because he doesn't stay promotable for as long, until he's promoted. He next turn might not be promotable because I think after one turn of not being promoted, it the ability to promote him goes away until he wins another battle. Now, as soon as he wins another battle and he gets another even one tick on his seniority level, he'll be promotable again. But you don't want to miss those, because especially if you're needing to build armies or needing to build corps and you've got a bunch of 1-star generals, you want to be promoting them fairly quickly so that they can move up the ranks of command, so they can command corps, they can command armies. If you don't do that, you're left with the same amount of 3 stars and 2 stars for a very long time, and in some games that can cost you the game. It's as simple as that. I'm not a big fan of the way Rise of Prussia does replacements, but there's not really too much you can do about that. They do have raise more money. Actually, I'm going to do that because my morale is so good, actually. And let's see what Austria's morale is at. Where is it? Austria morale 96. We're at 136. If you remember, we started out at 110 and they started out at 120. So they've lost 24 points of morale, national morale, and we've gained 26 points of national morale. So that's something that you kind of want to pay attention to as well. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.